So the topic is tree truth, or clarification about this plane and how it's built up with buildings made mainly with red bricks. So you can see here, this is a military or the militia of the bomb squadron, and there's airships showing you that in picting controlling the narrative. And you can see here what this propaganda is showing is that there's events that are orchestrated, and we're being told things that are untrue, but we're being shown the truth when you're looking in plain sight. Ocular, occipital, all about sight and being able to see. It's a tactic that they use to keep people inside of a certain mental state. And it's been said, even in particular by a channel called 777 Truth. But regardless, there's a lot of people saying that there are large trees, but the majority, if not all of these, are buildings. Technology, everything's multi-purposed. Even our vessels, everything, the language. So these have red brick rows and also other materials, and everyone has to ask themselves, why is it the same color as the terrain surrounding it? And we're going to get into other reasons why, such as this photo. This is the same type of structure, and the heat from the majority of the part was coming from the bottom up during the event. It happened no longer than around 500 years or so ago, or even less. The electrical heat energy, as the bricks, they carry energy like cells. And as you can see here, you can see this pattern, and no one's going to ever be saying that this was a tree. These are damaged bricks on this structure, and it's similar to this. A lot of times the roofs are going to be gone because other materials were damaged. Now there's different levels of damage, through A to Z, the type of damage you'll see. Sometimes you'll see the electrical energy going from the top down, but for the most part, it's cooked out from the bottom. Everything is built up here. So like this is looking similar to what's claimed to be of a large tree, but it's just like branching structure. No one's going to ever say lightning in the sky are trees, but we comprehend the analogousness of it. An analogy, analyzing, analogous, comparative. Yet we're having focus and discernment. We're comprehending. We have clarification. None of these are trees. These are cooked out into ash, brick ash, building ash from the event. Such as this. Look at the bottom. Look at that pattern. None of these things are trees. Look at this. This is leftover, cooked out technology or buildings and what they're made of. So sand and these beaches, you'll find bricks along many beaches. If you just look, the pebbles are from the cooked out mortar and the bricks, and it's different states. The electrical event created crystals. Now a lot of these buildings are crystallized. So this is examples of homologous structures. Homo, take the H off of the terms. H's can be taken on and off of terms. Homo. The same in Greek is homo. You see this thing that has been done. The H is like bread before it gets baked. It just puffs up. It just adds a little more to the language, like Hindi, Indi. These are buildings that are cooked out. There's different types and different levels and degrees of the damage. You'll find it this way. Sometimes you'll find it with the things that look like roots going to the ground. Yet we already know that our vessels have electrical analogies or homologous structures. These are what you're seeing. Look at the bottom. It almost looks like branches. You can still see the bottom right. None of these are roots. These are buildings. Yet trees are like buildings. Yet it's just that we know the difference. we make a lot of things that are similar to nature or based in nature or have the same functioning. So you're going to have these homologous structures. Yet these are buildings. Yes, there were trees. Yes, there were large trees. Yet everything's built up like this for a reason, because trees grow on these types of materials. And I know some of these photos are going to go fast, but you can always pause, go back, and resume. This is the Valley of Dreams in New Mexico, or Nuevo Mexico. And these are said by a channel named 777 Truth and other channels. I'm just using that as an example, just to show. And this is all about edification. And this area, or this location was chosen to be represented as a presentation of trees. This is a modern day example of what these look like. So someone can ask the question, well, if these are all damaged, we need to see modern day structures, because these are called pockets of survival. The largest cities where we're all living, for the most part, we're knowing what pockets of survival look like. A lot of these buildings were damaged, especially with the more intricate designs. They were Baroque, so that's why they dismantled a lot of them, because a lot of this was a Baroque. It still can work. There's still areas where these are operating even today. And just for whoever has access to them, present day or present day, current day. So this is the almhouse. It's said to have been a kitchen or some place. Yeah, right. Look at the tech on top. These are the same structures. You'll find the technology and architecture is the same everywhere. You'll find little variability here and there. Overall, it's all the same structures. It's all the same type. Just as our vessels, we have variety, yet you find the same personalities, the same things, just repeating, copious amount. So, but we're all unique. You're all unique. This is a close-up of the technology. This is a platform or a flat form. The P and the F can be interchanged. Flat. Platform is a flat form. Level-headed, flattery. When comprehension, there's an area of knowledge called reading comprehension. So comprehension, comprehending things. And we'll see, this has never been a tree, never will be a tree. This is from electrical damage, that this was outputting a lot of energy. So this is cooked out from the event. Now, wood was used in a lot of architecture, yet this is not one of them. This is similar to the plants that we were seeing. I'm saying similar because it was not a tree. Yes, we have the redwood trees that are large, and yes, they are important, the trees in all life. Yes, but this is the so-called Devil's Tower. Of course, they named it this. Do you think that this is what it was called in the old world? But look to your right, and there's bricks remaining. They're always showing this from a certain angle, but if you take a look back, you'll see things for what they are. You see this pattern, they say it's wood. That's never something for causality. This is not a tree. This is a damaged part of this plane, the grid system that was damaged from this electrical heat event that was coinciding with the flood, because buildings hold water. A lot of it was displaced into the atmosphere as well as out. These irrigation systems are built within everything. This is an example of an old rendering showing the tops of these. There's countless photos of them going to look into these, even carrying pregnant women up to these, and they're giving us these scare tactics of that these are going to go off. They use CGI. They pre-plant bombs, just like science experiments, which science is PSYENSE. It's like 33 in gematria. It's spelled that way. This is an example of volcanic architecture. Modern day, you can look into this, look up volcanic architecture, because they're buildings, they're damaged buildings, and they're just writing them off and recreating what was here in the old world, just gradually, but surely. And you'll see many current day examples. This is another depiction of these type of things, how it was looking and appearing before the event. You can see the damage around, and you see some of these things still working in some sense. And I'm showing this photo again just for the comparative aspect, because the basis of intelligence is comparison. And this is another example. This is another, again, mountains or damaged buildings, as you saw from that. Plants will grow. Sometimes they will avoid growing because all the carbon-14 is cooked out. These are all different examples. You can pause if you need to. You can see that everywhere you go, and this is from the Valley of Dreams, this is nothing about axes cutting trees down. This is a lie. These are platforms cooked out from the event. You can see the bottom, that pattern. None of those are roots. You know, and the roots in the top of the trees look similar. I know these are buildings, but this is before and after. Yet, you know, roots and the leaves are doing different things. And I'm just showing these just to show like how you can make that circular type thinking, knowing that these are all analogous. This is a building. If it was cooked out more, you see at the bottom, it would be. Now this is a comment you can see here from one of my other channels on YouTube at the timing of this recording. These are all different damages of, levels of damage, or damages of the realm. And that's the point of pointing out things.